Charu here? When? Okay, I'll try to figure it out. I'll come there, I'll come. Fuck. Smita, that man is dead. Have you left already? Okay, alright.
I definitely think there is a huge paradigm shift, and I'm here today as a producer of one of the films that showcased in the Indian Panorama. It's called ID, part of a group called Collective Face. We, five of us from the film school, dreamt of cinema, stood in the queues of Calcutta and Bombay and City Fort years ago. Dreamt of cinema, walked into film school, came out, nurtured a kind of cinema that we thought we will make. We thought ourselves to be Godard and Truffaut and Ray and Ghatak and all that. Things changed. You started working in the film industry, an industry that didn't require people who have done academics in cinema. Then, as a person who has studied cinema as a language, as an art form, my struggle was to create the need for you in the industry. That's what we have done over the last many years. One can claim oneself to be successful in many ways. So all those people who were part of making that movie was one way or the other being part of the mainstream industry and being successful. But we always thought that the kind of film that we get to do is not the kind of film that you would like to make, you know. So that was the reason behind making a film like ID, and I truly think that ID is a product of a truly independent thought, a truly independent cinema. I also know that that word is quite often used, you know, in many ways than one, to denote something that is not that doesn't fit in the formula of commercial films. But I think we have to look at it from a different angle altogether. The whole idea of putting the seminar together is that also to understand our cinema, which includes the mainstream cinema, which also includes the independent thought in the mainstream cinema, which also includes people who are having nurturing a parallel thought, you know, of cinema. All this put together make Indian cinema vibrant. So we have Aishwarya. I have the chance to work with her directorial debut, a film called 3. She is the brain behind the most famous Kolaveri. And the recent Gauri Shinde, welcome. She written and directed English. I had the opportunity to work with her. Onir began as a film editor as his career. We've been, you know, hanging around in Bombay right from the beginning of our career. And Umesh Kulkarni from Marathi cinema. And so all those people, and someone like Rameshji, for example, who originally brought in an original thought in Indian commercial cinema, made a film like Sholay. And Indian cinema, I believe, commercial Indian cinema is not crossed what Sholay has created. And I don't know if it will ever create, you know, cross that barrier. So we are getting my foundation this year working with IFI as a knowledge partner, beginning with this seminar, wherein we are bringing these young filmmakers who are thinking about independence. You know, that independence is not about just making a cinema, an independent cinema which is devoid of market forces, but also, trying to pitch their concept and their kind of cinema and their kind of storytelling within the mainstream commercial structure altogether. I mean, Gauri's success for me is, that one person came with a different thought, written it beautifully, made it beautifully, and found success, which an otherwise, unknown subject, otherwise unknown cast. And I believe commercial cinema is changing, and it is opening its door towards such independent thoughts. So for me, independent cinema is also that independent thought that you see in the mainstream, commercial cinema. So is Aishwarya in with her with three as a debut. I think she has come in as one of the strongest force in same as how Gauri has come in Hindi cinema. She brought in a new narrative, an old charm, and she created one of the most talked about track, Kolaveri, for example, which is the most heard and watched film track ever in the history of viral, for example. So these are the people who are coming in. Onir, who's always been trying to create cinema that he believes in, trying to find means of making it cinema, not only making it, also trying to get it out into the audience.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's actually very interesting be
Want some water?
to be here and also discuss this whole term of independent, because I think, like what Rasul said, we are not here with a defined uh, where the definition is already set. We are searching for definitions, we are trying to figure out, because just like there are different genres in painting, so there are different forms of cinema. And personally, like right from my first film, My Brother Nikhil, to I Am, I've been making films which are being again termed as non-mainstream cinema. It uses, for me it's been always kind of a middle path where you use actors from mainstream but experimenting on subjects which are again not considered to be mainstream. But having said that, I feel the biggest challenge that as an independent filmmaker, I've been producing my films also, and the last film that I did was one of the first crowdsourced film through social networking, because I had to go for the subject, is that you can still make your film. You can find ways of producing your films. Is how do you take your film to an audience? Because increasingly that space today, you can see it, that even if you are two big studios coming at the same time, there is a power struggle about theatre. My question is today, on Diwali day, why can't a small independent cinema also release? Because there is also an audience for that, but that opportunity is not there. So I think today the biggest challenge is to create space, be it in terms of theatrical, be it in terms of satellite, which will nurture certain kind of films. Like yesterday, I watched a beautiful film by Janu Badua, and I was wondering, it's a film which also talks about 2611. Beautiful film. I was crying, I was laughing through the film.
Um, we're talking about paradigm shifts. I'm only shifting in my chair at the moment. So. I don't know. I mean, again, I have never tried to dissect or sort of differentiate between cinema. Cinema is cinema for me. Whatever talks to you, makes sense to you, and you go back thinking about it, is cinema. And barring commercial aspects of it and stuff. I mean, if it does well and earns a lot of money, great. And of course, nobody should suffer any losses, because you're not doing. Otherwise you can just paint, because. It is a medium where you are borrowing money from certain people and you need to give that back. So in a sense, yes, it needs to at least make whatever you have put in. And cinema, I think to me is it is about what you want to say. And unless you're clear about what you want to express, and each time something innovative or something new or different. It could be a love story, but what about it are you saying? Something new or something fresh. And at the end of the day, it's not art, parallel or commercial, but how it impacts you. I mean, are you going back with something, and at the same time, is it appealing to you because you can't bore the audience also, and even to get across a serious issue, if you can say it in an interesting or uh, appealing, entertaining fashion, then
And it's been a great experience being here. It's always difficult to talk last because everything is said. So I'm going to try my level best to say something new. Um, I first of all want to thank Rasul sir for having me here because it's been a great experience being in Goa because I'm here after 6 years. And I don't know whether it's good or bad, but nothing has changed. Everything is the same and the people are same and it's really nice. Um, I'm here for the seminar, yes, and I'm here to talk about cinema basically. And I think people who are in cinema are here because of the passion for cinema, whether it's individual cinema or parallel cinema or commercial cinema, art cinema. Cinema is cinema. You're making people come and watch, forgetting everything about their worries, their happiness, about problems, tension. You're just taking 2 hours of their time to say, okay, this is what we can do for you. So I think cinema, first of all, should not be partitioned into different sections like this and dissected because everyone makes cinema so that people can watch it, and we want people to watch it. And I think every director, every filmmaker has the right that their film should reach everybody. And I mean, I haven't seen so many wonderful films like Gauri ma'am was saying. I don't even know about the film because sadly in South we don't get to watch other language films that much. And even here, sadly, even for the film festival, it's really sad that we don't have the awareness back there that we have to send films here. So it's not just small or big or where it is or where it's not. Cinema should reach people, and that's what we're all striving here for. And I guess it's only the words that make it very complicated. Paradigm.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't think I have the acumen, to sit and talk about what is future. What I can tell you is something that Rahman has said, which I think is very, very true. So when we won the Oscar, someone asked Rahman, so what does it mean? So he said, a lot of youngsters are going to get inspired. And the next 10 years is going to be Indian cinema's golden period. I think it's true. Because I already see sparks of genius in Tamil cinema, in Marathi cinema, Malayalam cinema hugely, hugely changing. So every regional cinema, youngsters are coming in. Even Hindi cinema, for example, there's a huge, huge shift. The way mainstream cinema has accepting new subjects, and so I think it's already started. I already start seeing what Rahman's words are coming true.
From which city you hail in Kerala? Which city?
It's not a city, it's a village. It's in Koilon district, about 80 kilometers from Koilon. It's a very small place called Vilakkupara. The nearest town is Anjal, about 12 kilometers from that place.